guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I created this makeup look for you. I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button down below. You can also find my Instagram and Snapchat in the description. But let's just go ahead. I'm going to prime my face with the Revlon Photo Ready Perfecting Primer. I'm going to use a Wet n Wild flat top brush to smooth it along my face evenly. Next, I'm using the Wet n Wild brow pencil in the shade Brunettes Do It Better to outline my brows. I'm using a spoolie to brush the product into my brows. To fill in the rest of my brows, I'm using the Anastasia Dip Brow in medium brown with an e.l.f. Eyebrow Duo brush. With a small angled brush, I am taking Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light to clean up my brows. I'm also using Tarte Shape Tape on my eyelids as a base for my eyeshadow. I'm using a light eyeshadow on my eyelids so they won't crease. I'm going to be taking the shade Raw Sienna in the Modern Renaissance palette with a regular blending brush to apply in my crease. Using another blending brush, I'm going to use the color Venetian Red to also apply in my crease. Next, I am using the Wet n Wild blending brush to apply the shade Red Ochre in the inner and outer part of my eyelid. I'm going to go back with the shade Raw Sienna to blend out any harsh lines. I'm going to use an e.l.f. flat top brush to apply the shade Scorched from the Naked Heat palette to the center of my eyelid. I'm going to use the e.l.f. Mist and Set to spray the brush so the shimmer applies better. Using a flat top eyeshadow brush, I'm taking the shade Tempera and applying it underneath my brow. Using the shade Summer in the Sun Dipped Glow Kit, I am taking an angled brush to apply the highlight underneath my brow bone. I'm going to be taking a smaller angled brush in the Maybelline Eye Studio eyeliner in the shade Blackest Black to create a wing. Next, I'm using the Revlon eyelash curler. Next, I am using the Too Faced Better Than Sex waterproof mascara to apply to my eyelashes. I would usually put on false eyelashes after this, but instead I'm going to apply another coat. Moving on to face, I'm using the Maybelline Liquid Mousse Foundation in the shade Classic Ivory. For concealer, I'm using the Maybelline Instant Ink Liner in my inner corners. I'm also going to be using the Flower Beauty Concealer to brighten up my under eyes. To conceal other areas of my face, I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Light. To set my face, I am using the Airspun Loose Powder. Using the Real Techniques Beauty Blender, I am going to apply the product under my eyes into my jawline. Using a fluffy brush, I'm going to apply the product on other areas of my face where I do not want to bake. To contour, I'm using the Wet n Wild dual-ended stick in the shade Medium Tan. To blend out the product on my nose, I'm using a small flat top brush. For the other areas, I'm using the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush to smooth out the product. Instead of brushing away the powder, I'm going to melt it into my skin using my beauty blender. To bronze up my face, I'm using the Soft Focus Finishing Powder and a contour brush. I'm taking a large flat top brush to blend it out. I'm going to apply the blush Romantic Rose from Milani with a blush brush. Once again, using the flat top brush to blend everything together. Using a pointy brush, I am taking the shade Venetian Red and applying it underneath my eyes. Going back with the Better Than Sex mascara, I'm applying it to my bottom lashes. I am taking the Maybelline Define-A-Line in Ebony Black to apply to my waterline. I'm going to apply the shade Butterscotch from the Sweets Glow Kit to the corner of my eyelids. Using a highlight brush, I'm going back to the Sun Dip Glow Kit in the shade Moonstone and applying it to my cheekbones, the center of my nose, and my forehead. For lips, I'm taking the Kat Von D liquid lipstick in the shade Bow and Arrow. When I was finished, I used the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray.